Guys, what is going on? Blossoms back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, in today's video, we're going to jump into Filter and we're going to look at our fully upgraded epics. And we're going to set our sights on collections and tags, more specifically on Great Exhibition. Now, why Great Exhibition is significant to me is because this is where I feel like I hit a turning point as a Top Drives player. I went from like somewhat competitive to really competitive. I feel like from Great Exhibition onwards, I was winning prize cars really consistently. Like, I wouldn't be getting every single one, but I'd be getting like maybe more than every other one, like maybe 3 in every 4 or something like that, right? So Great Exhibition was the first turning point. That's when I started winning a lot of things. And in a sense, I want to see what was the most costly update for me since Great Exhibition in terms of epics. How many epics did I need to fully upgrade in all of these big updates to win the prize cars that came out? So we're going to start off with Great Exhibition. Some notable prize cars that came out during Great Exhibition included the Huracan Performante, the Chiron Sport, both of them which I've won, the Lancia LC2, the Renault RS01, the Demon on a rerun, the MC12 Stradale, and the P1 GTR, just to name a few. Now, out of these 16, only 16 fully upgraded Great Exhibition cars you have, and if you're watching the video, feel free to come and compete against me. How many Great Exhibition fully upgraded epics do you have? Feel free to count alongside and put in the comments down below. My answer is 16. How many of them did I actually need to upgrade for a Tri-Series? So things like the Vantage, things like the Lotus Cup 430, these cars I didn't need to upgrade for any Tri-Series. These were passion projects. The Aerial Nomad was a bit of a passion project. Not that I don't like the car, but I realized it was really useful for British city streets small and like motocross, I think, in some kind of niche. I think rear-wheel drive club niche because it's high ground clearance. But how many cars did I need to use? And honestly, not that many. About 50%, 8. I used one of the Jaguar I-Paces. The other one was because I knew the car was good and it was kind of like a passion project, if you want to call it that way. Bentley Continental was for the Huracan, the Aston Martin CC100, the Vanquish Volante, and the Zagato. All three were somewhat passion projects, but they also helped in the Demon Rerun Owners Challenge because I already own the Demon. So that, you know, upgrading all those were really easy, but also I'm a huge fan of Aston Martin, and I don't know if you want to count me upgrading these cars for a tune-up or a Tri-Series or a GT Series, mainly because I kind of upgraded the cars before I even knew that there was going to be an Aston, you know, requirement. So, you know, you want to count them or you don't. It's around 8 to 5 cars that I actually, you know, had to upgrade for a Tri-Series, right? Defender and the 265, both of which were included in the Chiron finals, and that's about it. So honestly, I did not invest that heavily on Great Exhibition in terms of epics, but I still managed to have won a decent amount of the prize cars that came out during, you know, that the reign of that update, right? Now, moving on to the next one, we're going to go to European Revolution. Only 9 cars fully upgraded. What were the prize cars that came out during this time? Well, it includes the Senna, McLaren Senna, the Viper GTSR, which, once again, I won both of them, the Bentley GT3, which I missed out on, and, of course, the Pikes Peak, Suzuki Pikes Peak XL7. So out of those 4 notable prize cars, which called for specifically, or, you know, the majority being European Revolution, I won 3 out of 4. How many of these cars did I fully upgrade for a Tri-Series purpose, though? The Volvo XC40, absolutely. The thing's terrible now. I mean, the only good thing about it back in the day was that it's really light, but nowadays it's not that useful anymore because there are a bunch of really light SUVs, right? Or at least there's just more than one. The Volvo used to be one of a kind. So this was fully upgraded for a Tri-Series without a doubt. Spiker Tri-Series, Volvo Tri-Series, Spiker D12 was a Tri-Series, Peugeot E-Legend was a Tri-Series, and the C8 Preleator was for a special tag challenge, so I wouldn't really count that one. And the 207 as well was a Tri-Series. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the Doncavort D8 270 did help me in a Tri-Series, and this needs to zoom out. You know how they're zooming out at everything? Yeah, that needs to zoom out because I still don't know what the front of that car looks like. And the Peugeot 908 as well. Like, those two, they were useful for me, but my prime purpose for upgrading both those cars weren't to win me a prize car, but just because they were good. So I would say for European Revolution, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Yeah, basically 6. You want to count C8 for a challenge. I'm not going to count it. But the 6 out of 9 was basically just for the purpose of winning something else, not because I wanted to. So yeah, that's a pretty high rate. Now moving on to American Frontier. What were the pretty notable cars that came out of American Frontier? That include the Koenigsegg 1-1, which I won. The Sabera 12, Speed 12, which I won. SLS GT3, I did not win that. And the Gumpert Apollo R, which I won. So once again, 3 out of 4. How many of these cars were for a Tri-Series? Now this one is tough because obviously I love the cars that came out in this update. So all of them ended up being useful for me, but then again, they're all kind of pseudo passion projects, right? But let's have a think about it. How many of these did I actually upgrade? Because obviously, like, this was the time where I kind of knew Hutch's game. And I would say that, this came out in 2020, like about time I catch on to Hutch's game. I've been playing the game for about 3 years at this point. But I knew that, whatever card that I pulled super early in the brand new update will probably help me win the next couple of prize cars. So with that knowledge in mind, I'm going to count the cars that I upgraded for a Tri-Series purpose because of that knowledge that I had. So what were the cars that I upgraded for a Tri-Series? The Mustang FR500, the Mustang GT4, both GTSRs, Sidewinder, Juice, both SRT10s, Viper ACR, and the SVT Cobra R. So honestly, even though I love these cars, out of 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them were for a Tri-Series purpose. It was a win-win. It was a win-win. American updates are always a win-win for me because I get to upgrade cars that I like, and they also get to win me stuff. So this one honestly didn't hurt that much compared to like European Revolution, for example. But then again, I gotta say, these two Viper SRT10s are completely useless for me now. I do not use them. The ACR, I don't use it often as well, right? Even the SVT Cobra R, back in the day, 99 handling this in Epic was such a wow factor. Now it's just, yeah, it's alright, Alright, now moving on to the next one is JPT. JPT, honestly, is pretty low. Only 10 fully upgraded ones, and there are a lot of bangers that came out in JPT. Started with the Volkswagen RDR Pikes Peak, the SRT10 ACRX, 918 on a rerun, the Apollo Intensa Emozione, the McLaren Senna on a rerun, and the Porsche GT1 race car. Now, my tally for JPT was not that good. I missed out on the IDR. I missed out on the 918 rerun owners, whatever it was. I missed out on the Porsche GT1 race car, so I only walked away with the Viper SRT10, whatever the owner's challenge was for the Senna, which I believe was the Ford GT, and the Apollo Intensa Emozione, and it shows because like there are not a lot of cars here, and honestly the majority of them are on the weaker end. I was not lucky with JPT. I never pulled a high-end Subaru early on. I own some now, as you can see. Like I have the 77 and the 78, but they came, and even the Nissan Silvia, but they came way too late. I needed them early, and I did not get them early. I was really unlucky. I got just a shit car, so I got like the Subaru WRX, which was, I think it used to be known as the VAG, or was it the red one? The Subaru Impreza WRX Hatch GR, and the best thing I had was the 73 Subaru WRX STI. So, yeah, I didn't win it. I didn't win much because I wasn't very lucky with that. I was really lucky in getting the Emerge and the Hayabusa, so those two were really useful. But in terms of everything that I fully upgraded for a Tri-Series purpose, that includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, the best thing I pulled was the Impreza WRX, not the Type RA, but I digress. So 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. And it's kind of funny because the Bluebird was a passion project because I knew how good that was going to be for clubs and stuff, four-wheel drive, off-road. At the time, there weren't many cars that had that, niche, especially for an Epic. And then obviously the Premier and the Subaru WRX STI were just both passion projects. This one was because I believe the Mitsubishis moved up in RQ. They went up to Legends, right? So I needed a high handling medium ground clearance four-wheel drive saloon to replace the Mitsubishis that went up to Legend. That's why I went for the Impreza as a passion project. But yeah, still really unhappy. I feel like, I would have been sitting with a lot more prize cards if I was just a little bit luckier with my GPT pools, but all I got were the lower end shit. Now, moving on to the next update was World Expo. World Expo had a lot, 19 fully upgraded cars. As you can see, this one, whoa, I went really heavy on the Tri-Series this year, because who the hell would want to max out 5 Resvanis? I don't even use them anymore. It's honestly a pain in my butt. At least they're American, right? So, World Expo brought out the Donkerford D8 GTO, which I won, the 208 T16 Pikes Peak, won that. GTR GT500, won that as well, and the Koenigsegg CCGT. The Koenigsegg CCGT was the one that I didn't win, so that was, again, 3 out of 4. A lot of cars here. So let's start with 19, right? 19 fully upgraded. How many for a Tri-Series? Mercedes C112, 1. Bristol Fighter, 2. Porsche 911 GT2, 3. Audi RS4, 4, right? RS6, 5. Ultima Can-Am, 6. Porsche, 7. And then we have 5 Resvani, so 12. And Audi SQ8 TDI, maybe? Nah, I don't think so. I think that was actually a car that I just thought was really good. So, yeah, again, 12 out of 19 were all for a Tri-Series. All those Resvanis, my goodness. I believe that was for the Nissan, the Nissan GTR GT500 that you needed those Resvanis for. It was one or the other. But yeah, that was one of them. I think it was the Tri-Series was also included Lock to Lock. No, not Lock to Lock, sorry. Pacific Coast Highway. So Pacific Coast Highway and World Expo. What was it for? I can't remember anymore. There was the one where like you could use the Dodges, but I never unpacked the Dodges, and I got the Resvani 3 times instead. So yeah, that was just a crazy time. But again, I went really heavy on this update. Majority of the cars were mainly for winning a Tri-Series prize car. In terms of passion projects, I guess you can say the Audi SQ8. I can't believe it, but that kind of was a passion project, which was a really good car at the time. I was like, wow, look at that 0 to 60. Wow, look at that handling. It's gonna be so good. I mean, it's all right. It's paid off a little bit, but I wouldn't say that it was that jaw-dropping performance car. It's the same thing with the Mercedes E400. I fully upgraded this car mainly because, four-wheel drive, center tires, 87 handling, and the MRI that it had. Like, I was just like, wow, look at that. It's gonna be really useful for me. And I was right at the end. 1,121 races, 89% win ratio. So it's been a very, very good car. Same thing with the Cayman GT4, right? This was mainly for clubs. It was a passion project. Didn't win me much. But yeah, again, I use it all the time, so it's definitely worth it. Now, moving on to the next update, we're going on to Enter the Black Forest. Only 7. How many of these were for a Tri-Series purpose? It was 1, 2, 3, 4. The Porsche Taycan GTS was a passion project, which also helped with Coast to Coast. But the main goal for the GTS was just a passion project. I just really like the car, and I felt like I needed a 4-wheel drive low ground clearance Epic in my collection. I think that was a part of my garage, part of my Epic collection that was a little bit weak. So the Taycan GTS could have filled up that role. The 911 RSR was also a passion project. Giselle unpacked this for me on my birthday, and this thing was absolutely fantastic. And the Jahre edition, I think this was for a special challenge. I can't remember what it was for. I think it's as seen on YouTube. But then again, it wasn't really for a Tri-Series or anything like that. The main ones were these 4 up here. The M4 Competition Coupe was a win-win because I would have upgraded this car as a passion project. But then again, I do own the M3 Saloon. I own 2 of them, and they're not fully upgraded yet. So the fact that this was needed in the Tri-Series kind of propelled it up to being fully upgraded a lot sooner. Obviously, for the Hennessy Venom F5, we had the BMW M340D. I can't remember what this was for. Maybe the KTM X-Mode GT, I think, because the only 2 significant ones that came out during the start of Enter the Black Forest were the Bristol Fighter and the KTM X-Mo, and I did not win the Bristol Fighter, right? That was a GT series. And the BMW iX was really useful as well, so I would say 4 out of 7 was for Tri-Series purpose. Moving on to Amalfi Coast, only 6 fully upgraded, and oh, would you look at that, 100%, all 6 of them were used for a Tri-Series purpose. So 100% of the cars I upgraded here was because I had to. But to be fair, I love the Giulia GTA. So again, like the M4, it was kind of a win-win. Prize cars that came out during Amalfi Coast include the Venom GT, which that was the one where I needed to use both Alpha TZ3s, one drag spec and one 233, as well as the Ultima RS, when I won both of them, to be fair. Now Now, moving on to Lock to Lock 4. Oh, sorry. Lock to Lock is this one. London Savannah Way comes first, I guess. London Savannah Way, 4 fully upgraded, 3 of which were for Tri-Series. Just these 3 Holdens, all for the same one. It was the only one for London Savannah Way, the Sauber C11. That's it, Mercedes C11. This was a passion project. That was it. I'm a saloon collector, so I had to do that. It's been a very useful car for me since, to be fair. Lock to Lock comes next. Prize cars that came out here: a Lotus Avia, LC1 Lancia, BMW M5. I won 1 out of the 3. I did not get the Avia, I did not get the Lancia, and it makes sense because I only have 4 fully upgraded epics, and all 4 of them were used for a Tri-Series purpose, and yeah, that was about it. I think I used the Exige won me something for sure. The Exige and the Exige V6. I think both of them were the ones that won me the BMW M5 CS. The G56 came afterwards. The G50 came afterwards for future prize cars. Now, moving on to the next update. We got Pacific Coast Highway, another American update, so another win-win over here, right? 7 of which are fully upgraded, and in terms of like how many that helped me for a Tri-Series, 0. Actually 0, because the thing is, right? All of the Challengers and the Charger, they all came after I needed them. I never unpacked any of the Chargers or the Challengers when I needed them at the peak of Pacific Coast Highway, which was a real kick in the balls. The Ram and the Ford above prize cars. The Lincoln MKZ didn't really help me with shit. I kind of just upgraded it because like, oh, it was like the only thing I had, you know? And I wanted a fully upgraded epic from the new update. Oh no, hype. But yeah, dude, the Challengers, I mean, I upgraded them, but they were all passion projects. Every single one of them were just passion projects. The Jailbreak was a passion project. And you know, I've unpacked the Charger, Hellcat, Red Eye, and that's gonna be a passion project too whenever I decide to fully upgrade it. It's the same thing for the Jailbreak Challenger. They're all just gonna be passion projects. I never got those cars when they were the most useful, and it really annoys me. It's like the wide body all over again. But hey, you know what? At least I got them, right? Pacific Coast, Asia Pacific Grand Prix, yeah. 6 fully upgraded. How many I used for the final? All 6. Yep. All 6 were used for the final. The Mazda 3, actually 5. Mazda 3 wasn't used for any Tri-Series. This was used for a challenge. But for the Tri-Series purpose, it was, yeah, every other one. What came out during APGP, that included the Pagani Huayra R, the Koenigsegg Jesko Attack, the Audi S1 EKS, the Venom F5, which was, you know, APGP, as well as Enter the Black Forest. And out of those 4 prize cars, I won 3 of them. So not too bad. Again, only missed on the Jesko Attack, got the Audi, the Huayra, and the Venom. And again, all these cars, I just needed them for a Tri-Series. That was it. The Pajero, the Lancer, these 2 cars, I just never use anymore. The Moab, I barely use. I think I only used it on, was it Coast to Coast or something? And it was a special tag and something. Oh, year of the whatever this year was. Year of the Dragon? I think that's why. But outside of that, before it, dude, this car you think is great, right? 3.3, 102. I barely use it, dude. 172 races in 267 days. Win ratio is good. But a rule of thumb is if I have less races than days, I don't use it that often. To be complete, okay, I'm gonna keep it 100. How about the Ionic? Ionic is okay. Ionic's still alright. 468 races to 294 days with an 82% win ratio. But yeah, every single one of them, maybe besides the Mazda, was used for, you know, some kind of chasing a prize car. Moving on to the year, oh, actually, all of them were chasing a prize car. Just that 5 of the 6 were for a Tri-Series. The last one was for a challenge, which still had a prize car. European New Wave, only 4. Only 4 fully upgraded. Again, how many of them were for Tri-Series prize cars? 3 out of 4, actually. The Citroen C-Elise was a passion project for clubs. But the other 3, the Caterhams, the Radical, and the Skoda, what were the prize cars that came out during ENW? The Bugatti, La Vitier, Noah, whatever it is. I did not get that. Rimac Concept S, I did get that. Sky Active, did not get that. Oh yeah, this was for the Rimac. I'm pretty sure this was either for the Rimac or the Porsche Mission R. Also the Porsche Mission R and the Alfa Romeo Coloni. So I think, yeah, these 2 were for the early prize cars. Caterham was half passion project, half because I needed it as well. But yeah, I did not spend that much for this update. I absolutely hated that update, so I barely spent a dime on that. And last but not least, it brings us to present day for American Overdrive, and the prize cards that have come out so far is the Aurora Agile, the Koenigsegg Yamera HV8, as well as the Mazda RX Vision GT3, with the Radical RXC coming up soon. Am I gonna go 4 for 4, or am I just gonna go 3 for 4? It seems like I always go 3 for 4, so I've already hit the 3, right? I won the Gill. Gill. I think it's a Gill. Yeah, Shmi called the Gill. The Ymera and the RX Vision. So I might if it's written in the stars, I'll lose out on the Radical, unfortunately. How many of these are for Tri-Series? 1, 2, 3, 4. All the Cadillacs, actually. Every single Cadillac. Oh, and 5, the Stingray. Yeah. So, the SSX and the Stingray C8, both of them were passion projects, really. The C8 came a little bit too late. Well, I say too late, but then again, I won everything. But I did miss out on the coast-to-coast prize car, right? That was a good one, the Copo. This would have helped me pass round 16, which I was stuck on for the longest time. But then again, still really happy to get it. Mainly max it out just because of how good I know it can be. But yeah, I would say the most expensive, the one that I invested the most in, yeah, I mean, without a doubt is World Expo. Without a doubt is World Expo. American Frontier had a lot as well, didn't it? It had a lot as well. That was a win-win. That was a good time. But yeah, it just goes to show that, man, a lot of the prize cars are just, I mean, a lot of the fully upgraded epics are just driven by prize cars, just chasing prize cars. I don't know if that's ever gonna stop, you know, with the new Rex coming out for the Radical. I don't know what I'll need to upgrade. Maybe I won't need to use American Overdrive that much anymore because I think it's like just I think it's like medium ground clearance, 2020 to 2024. So I can just use some of the older stuff. We'll see what happens there. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. A bit of a pretty interesting concept today to switch things up on the channel. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe. Wash your hands. Blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks.